Whoa! Welcome to the What's Up Reddit podcast. We fashion ourselves cinematic Judge and Jerry. My name is JJ Crowder. I'm here with my co-host Mattson
Better red than dead.
and Alec Burgess.
Let's get it.
We appreciate you tuning in. Go ahead and hit that follow, subscribe, like, bell notification buttons. Tell a friend about us. Tell a family member about us. Tell an Arizona redneck about us. We'll talk about that, but I mean, we have one sitting in our midst.
I was gonna say we got one. He's trying to dress like the show right now.
I like it. He's halfway there.
I felt personally attacked by this movie.
Oh shit! Hey, look, I made it through the intro. I was a little nervous. It's like riding a bike. Yeah, we're here. It's September, and we have an interesting series of episodes for you here in September. We're doing a month of Nick Cage movies, and so we picked some interesting ones. The man has a prolific amount of odd and interesting films. And to kick us off, we're starting off with Raising Arizona. It was released April 10th, 1987. It was written and directed by Joel and Ethan Coen. It stars Nick Cage. That's going to get used to that for the next 5 episodes. Holly Hunter, Trey Wilson, John Goodman, William Forsythe, Sam McMurray, Francis McDormand, Randall Cobb. Yeah, that's it. I mean, we could throw in Henry Kendrick just for kicks and giggles, just to round it out. But that's quite the cast. When a childless couple, an ex-con and an ex-cop, decide to help themselves to one of another family's quintuplets, their lives become more complicated than they anticipated. Yeah, this was my pick.
Why?
Okay, I'll tell you. Because one, I knew it was going to torture Mattson.
Yeah, we all knew that. Stupid.
That was one of the reasons. The other reason is this is a movie that I simultaneously love and hate. But that's pretty typical for the Coen brothers for me. Like their films, this one included, are ones that like I love so many parts and aspects of their films, but then I hate just as wholeheartedly so many aspects of those same films. But when I think Nick Cage, this is one of the first things I think of. This was probably, I think, other than Face Off, the first Nick Cage movie I ever watched in my life. So it holds a little nostalgia for me. It's quirky. It's weird. It's right up there up my alley. And it's fun to watch intoxicated in any way, shape, or form that you can think of, which fits my life as well. So there you go. Those are the reasons why I chose this particular film, not to minimize the ability to mess with Mattson. So I'm curious what you guys. I mean, we know Mattson hated it, but I'm curious to hear why.
Well, there's certainly a movie I hate more than this one that we'll be reviewing, but that'll be. I mean, if anyone that listens to us, we'll get to that one a different day. I mean, it's not like the worst thing out there. It's just, what I did like is, for our listeners that don't know, today that we're recording this was my son's first birthday. The show definitely made me think of my little guy, and I thought about what it was like to be a parent and terrified to have. How many kids was it? 5? Was it 5 or 6? Yeah, like at one time. I mean, that's just not even. I don't know what you're doing in life. It's just a lot to take on. They were very cute kids. They found some cute looking little dudes. Made me think a lot about that, but oh my gosh, what did I actually like in this movie? The dude John Goodman and William Forsythe, their duo, like I liked them. They were funny. Like the things that they were in. I mean, it was supposed to be over the top, but it was funny. And I think one of the part that I did chuckle and laugh out loud was the like grain bake heist with the old guy that, like, what they say, like freeze and then
get on the ground.
and get on the ground. And the guy like,
What do
they're
you
like,
want
well,
us to do?
What do you want us to do? And I was like, oh my gosh, that's pretty dang funny. And then when they're freaking out about the baby that they left and yelling, like those guys, any scene that they were in, I really liked them. Or like when they were in the trailer and HI's wife, Ed, what a dumb name. Like they're basically insinuating he doesn't wear the pants and like giving him the old looks and everything. Like I loved all that. I thought it was funny. It was just the rest of the stuff. It was just to me the most random hobbed, spliced together like semblance of a plot with trailer trash, horrible accents, except Ed's accent was real because she's from the South. Oh man, it was just a mixture of bad, but there were parts that were funny. It was just weird, like, but that's what it was supposed to be. But it's just too much weird for too long, and yeah, I would have preferred to have watched something else that was a better movie, but it had its moments.
Fair enough. What about you, Alec?
I liked it, but I also hated it because this falls into the same category for me as like Napoleon Dynamite, Nacho Libre, Gentleman Bronco. Just absolutely stupid. I hated it because it hit a little too close to home. Like when they're after he sticks up the convenience store and he's running through the neighborhood. I'm like, that alley looks a lot like every other alley I've seen in my time in Arizona. And those streets, yeah, that looks like Scottsdale right there. Pretty sure I've been to the grocery store that he's running through aisles up and down. Looks exactly the same.
Yep.
So it, I mean, it's fun making fun of Napoleon Dynamite. I'm like, yeah, Idaho sucks. This one hit a little too close to home. So, but I mean, at the same time, incredibly accurate. So, bravo. I was like, I know people like this. I know a lot of people like this.
Yeah. If anybody's wondering, look, I lived in Arizona for a couple of years too. There are such things as Arizona rednecks. I mean, I always laugh at this movie because of the Southern accents that are just, I'm like, why? Like, but why? Because they don't have those, but they sure, yeah. There's some truth to that, and I'm pretty sure I've been to that grocery store too, Alex. So.
Yeah, I've met some Arizona rednecks when I lived there in the Kingman area, and they can redneck hard, man. There's a trailer park there called Birdland. I mean, they could have just put that in this movie; it would have fit perfectly in. I knew some people that were on this show, basically. One of the things I want to bring up that was really funny. The whole cop scene when they're just like, we're just gonna open fire, like we don't care who we're shooting at, what we're shooting. Thankfully, they couldn't shoot for a lick, but my gosh, I'm sure there was 6 people that died in that grocery store because that dude was just spraying and praying, bro.
Clearly, you've been out of Arizona for a while. They
Yeah.
still pray for
Oh my gosh, that part was so funny.
Quite well, Arizona too.
I know people got their guns, but it just made me laugh because it was just like, oh, okay, well,
yeah, come to Food City and once in a while you'll see it.
A little bit of police brutality, more like
sure
police murders out there, is killing innocents. But I thought that was really funny because they would. I love that over the top direction with that. I was like, this is funny to me, and that whole chase, like. Yeah, it was dumb, but it was the right kind of dumb. But I think there was other moments where I just the whole relationship between HI and Ed and their voices and like what they were trying to figure out, it just wore at me on times. But like Nathan Arizona, he even had his moments. There was really good bits to this. It was just too many bits and not enough of a story I ultimately cared about in the end. I think that was my problem, and it's kind of really what this movie was. And I don't know if there's more to it than that, and if there is, enlighten me. But yeah.
Look, one of the reasons that first of all, the police chase scene is one of the funniest fucking parts. Like, I laugh my ass off still to this day. I've seen this 100 times and I still cannot.
Oh, why have you seen this 100 times?
Because I actually like this movie.
Help yourself.
And when I was a kid, like,
sorry, Mattson, it's funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Well,
JJ.
when I was younger, like, I used to introduce my friends to this movie. Like, they would be like, "What's Raising Arizona?" I'm like, "Shut the fuck up."
But see,
And
if
so,
you were younger, I get that because this is like
yeah,
a dumb fun. But you're like a sophisticated 40-something male. Like, watch something that makes it.
Sophisticated? Is that really the best word to
I was
describe
trying.
JJ?
I was
I
trying to.
appreciate that use of.
I was trying to help JJ out. I was trying.
No, and I appreciate the help. But yeah, no, look, I love it. I like this movie. It's funny to me. Like, I giggle at it. And the car chase scene, Jesus, like, still to this day, like, I was watching it yesterday and just cackling because it just works out. So, like, he's just calm, running away, friggin' turning corners, and then he gets back in the car and the diapers, like, he goes in and robs another joint for another bag of diapers, and then more people shoot at his ass, and then he drops them both, but he just calmly tells Ed, "Turn here,
Take left. Take
Yeah.
it right.
take it right here," just knowing that he's gonna get to the diapers and leans out, grabs them, and end scene. Like, it's that, and I think that's Coen Brothers throughout. But this movie was my first introduction to the Coen Brothers for sure, and it was like I said, I hate and love their movies. Every single one of them. There's things that I absolutely hate, and then there's things that I love. And I think the car chase scene in this, and then I think the bank scene where the conversation with the people in the hayseed bank, and then what's the other scene that I like, the end scene with the freaking guy on the motorcycle, like where they're having the fight, like all of those are just like strokes of pure genius. And the part where the tracker goes into Arizona's office, and you think like he's this ruthless dude, he's trying to get his kid back, he's certainly going to hire this guy, and then he's like, the fuck out of here. And then like all of those are just so pure genius scenes to me that they elevate this movie to where I'm
What
like,
was
I
the
can
deal
watch
with
it.
the guy that wasn't real, but like real burned flowers, but he wasn't even real. But he was real, but he wasn't real.
You talking about the tracker?
Yeah,
He was real.
Yeah, he was real.
but like,
He's my cousin.
but he like they showed like he was real, but like he was when he was riding on his motorcycle, he was burning. Things were burning that wouldn't be burning. Like it wasn't. It's not physically possible.
That's how you know he's cool.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of those things that doesn't make sense in a Coen Brothers movie. Like, those are the things that, and that's one of my issues with the Coen. When I hate something, it's because they go one step too far. But because when they get it right, they get it so right, they can do that and people let it go. But like, that's one of the things, like, it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? But I let go of it because I have scenes like the banking scene where the old man's like, can't lay down if I'm freezing, so I can either freeze or I can lay down.
I couldn't let it go, but that guy made me think of JJ. I was like, if JJ decided to just be a complete hard ass and smoke like 80 cigars and like I don't know, like punched babies for a living and had a horrible childhood and hung his baby shoes from his backpack, like this could be JJ.
Fair. If I'd stayed in Arizona, that's probably what would have happened to me.
What was the didn't they have the same tattoo?
Yeah, they did.
What was that about? What were they trying to tell me there? That he
No
was
idea.
that guy? Like I don't. Then I was like, but they're not trying to say that he could have been that guy. Like I didn't give it enough thought, but I'm trying to think about it now.
I've always thought about it like from one of those things where it's like they end up like somewhere in the background they're like Long Ross brothers, like, or they're separated or something, and so they just kind of they ended up on two opposite ends. Like, one is a very successful dick and the other one is a terribly unsuccessful criminal, and so like they're just at the opposite ends of the spectrum. But I don't know, like I've never actually even looked into why they have the same tattoo or what the situation is. I'd be curious too. Like, Charles, I feel like that's something you would know, so tell us.
It was a Woody Woodpecker tattoo, right?
Yeah.
Well,
All right, here we go.
Right there, Woody Woodpecker.
Chat
Fucking
GPT,
awesome.
symbolic connection. The matching tattoo suggests a symbolic connection between High and Leonard Smalls can be seen as a dark, exaggerated reflection of H.I.'s criminal past and inner turmoil. The tattoo serves as a visual cue that they are two sides of the same coin, representing H.I.'s struggle between his desire to reform and his inherent criminal tendencies.
Mm.
I mean, that's just one interpretation. There's
Sure.
also the duality of man, the conflict of being a good husband and father and also repeat offender, fate and destiny. H and Leonard Smalls are inextricably linked. More of what JJ was talking about, and their encounter is inevitable. It identifies and aligns with the film's whimsical and almost fairy tale like narrative where characters' paths cross in seemingly predestined ways.
There's also the kind of like I just sitting here thinking about it. It could be that it's a way for HI to like look at himself because he always calls himself an outlaw and like that's his way of life and it's who he is and he's having this, you know, crisis of conscience at least right before the shit hits the fan before the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Then he sees that tattoo and it's almost like he's looking at a possible version of himself maybe where, you know, it's like I could, you know, a few things, a little more success and a few, instead of not meeting Ed that fateful day when he was being brought to jail, maybe that's how he ends up as this emotionless, evil dude, you know? That's one way. I was just sitting there thinking about that. It's interesting. I've never thought that much about it because I don't know that this movie deserves
Well,
that
I don't
much
think the
thought,
Coen
but-
brothers thought about like I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like it just was random to me at the end. I was like, you didn't need to do that part. I would have just still would have been fine, and it threw me off.
Yeah, I'm I don't know, like I love that character, the tracker, just because it's like so extreme. Like when you first meet him, he throws a grenade at a freaking jackrabbit in the desert. Like it's just like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? And then he's carrying his baby shoes. Because that's the other thing that I think of too when I think about that character and then the connection to HI is obviously there's some sort of thing with babies. Like maybe he had a baby and then lost the baby, right? Like for whatever way that is. So he's carrying those shoes around on him, or maybe they're his own baby shoes. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like an interesting concept too. Another connection to maybe why HI is like, oh God, I'm glad I didn't turn out like this fucker.
That guy's he needs a freaking therapist, dude, carrying around his baby shoes. Like he got issues.
See, now I kind of figured the baby was a bounty and he just kept the shoes as a trophy.
Could be.
Yeah.
His first track or whatever.
Could be.
It could very well be that. And I mean, Alec might know about these things. Like he's got
Arizona's a nice place, Mattson. You should move here. Lots of friendly people to meet.
I think we recently told listeners on a podcast that there's a good. I'm quite happy the distance between us.
Yeah,
you don't mean that.
I don't know what you're quite capable of because I don't think you do as well.
Fair enough. It's too fucking hot. I could never live in Arizona again.
Okay, it's only been like 98, 99 the last 2 weeks.
It was like 85 today, and I thought I was gonna die. And I was outside for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's one thing they didn't do well in this film. It must have been the winter time in Arizona because they were not sweating bullets. I was like, it's hot there. It doesn't look hot though.
Well, and I laughed too. Like at the end of the chase scene, there's actually water on the ground. Like it's been raining a lot, and I'm like, nah. Like that shit would have dried up the instant that it stopped.
It's the irrigation.
Yeah.
I also laugh in this with all the baby scenes, like the car seat. Now having been a parent, I'm like, you see that little flimsy, like plastic little thing. I'm like, we crashed. Baby's right there in the front. Like that baby's gone. Like your little dude or daughter, like they ain't safe. Like it's kind of funny. The '80s, man. It's a miracle JJ made it out.
It's fair. That's fair.
Made it out and still turned out so sophisticated.
Yeah.
in JJ's sophisticated manner. Yes.
Yep.
What else was I gonna say that made me? Um, oh gosh, I liked when the what was up with the prisoners, the two guys broke out of jail and how they got out like in the mud fest. One doesn't if they got lucky it rained that day. They probably were waiting for weeks for that type of rainstorm. Two,
It's
that
monsoon
was like
season.
Yeah.
that was like the most. I don't know what they came out of because it's like they just I don't know, they dig from China and then got there. Like that was, I mean, that was a funny scene. It was meant to be funny, but I was like, well, I don't know. And he just pulls his friend out from his ankle. I'm like, what was going on down there?
Didn't they do it themselves though? It wasn't rain. It was like they busted the sewer pipe, and that's how that place flooded. That's why
Oh,
they
was it
smelled like
that? It
shit
wasn't.
when they got
I thought it
got to
was
his.
raining though.
I don't remember. It could have been. That part makes me laugh because all I think about is, damn it, the
Shawshank.
Shawshank.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shawshank. Yeah,
And if this movie hadn't come first, like I would have thought that this was like uh, a parody of the Shawshank moment.
yeah.
But this one came first. So
I mean, it's just funny because they came out of the ground. I'm like, I don't know how that pipe worked that way. That doesn't make sense. But okay, you just appeared out of nowhere.
and I think the best part about that is when they go back and they go
Yeah, they
through the
go
fucking
through.
hole they escape. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, just sneak back into your cell and you're sleeping
Nobody
there with all
sees,
the
nobody knows.
They haven't
paint.
been gone for 5 days or whatever it was.
Yeah, it's hilarious. No, it's yeah. The other scene that I was sitting and thinking about what we were talking about that makes me laugh is when Frances McDermott's character come over, like the sister, I think, and then
Mm.
the brother-in-law, and like that whole we're swingers. And
Oh my
he,
gosh.
he fucking just punches him and then he runs into the tree, and I'm like, but there's not a tree. Like out there in the desert, he'd have run into a cactus and come out looking like a porcupine. That's what would have happened.
So it's unfortunate that High wasn't a little bit smarter because he could have taken that dude to court and won a large sum of money. I think because your boss comes to you with that proposition that ain't kosher.
Okay, well, remember it was the '80s in Arizona, so
Yeah. In the Arizona outback to boot. Probably was somewhere near Kingman. If you
Oh my gosh, it looked like it. High wanted out of that gig though because he was tired of drilling those holes next to that the dude that I don't remember his name. He's in Christmas with the Cranks. I was telling the same story every scene. You're just like, I'd be done too, buddy.
Yeah. Just trying to think of the other place that looked like I mean, there's quite a few places in Arizona that look like that, but yeah, Kingman's
they
not
all
far off.
they all kind of look similar, but it looked a lot like Kingman. And don't get me wrong, Arizona has its beauty, but it's also like a lot of places just desert and goes on for days.
Yeah, there's a little. I was about to say city, and then I stopped myself because it's a like street somewhere and I cannot remember the name of it, but interestingly enough, one time when I drove out there and I was driving back from this town, and I cannot. But I was in Scottsdale at the time, and we drove out to this place about an hour and a half, middle of nowhere. Coming back, and we got hit monsoon season. We got hit, and I was like, "Holy shit sticks!" That was the scariest 10 minutes of my life. Like, couldn't see shit. It was like water everywhere, and I was like, "Fuck!" It was the first time I'd lived in the valley.
Yeah,
so I had been up in Scottsdale and Cottonwood,
floods
or not Scottsdale, but Flagstaff and Cottonwood area, and it's like here, only more desert there. So I got down into the valley and I'm like, what the fuck is this? It actually floods in this place. It was the middle of the night. I was like, good Lord, that's terrifying, this rain. But it lasted 10 minutes and then it was done.
Oh, I remember like when I was in Vegas, when it did that, the streets would flood where like the four-way intersections because they'd be a little bit lower, and people that were driving really nice cars were like totally screwed because they just were like, well, it sucks to be you. And then it would go away. It was like it never happened.
Yeah.
Or for slightly rain, and then it would evaporate so quickly. Like you'd feel it humidity for a second, and then like 10 minutes later, it was gone.
Yeah. Well, and that's the part. Like I hated it. Monsoon season in Arizona sucks in the daytime. It's like 105 degrees and it rains real hard, and then it gets fucking humid on top of it. The fuck out of here. That was the worst.
You're in luck. We haven't had one of those in like 4 years.
Ugh.
The rain doesn't come no more.
Wow. That's fair.
It's too hot.
It's a problem in and of
way
itself.
too fucking hot.
Way too hot for the rain.
Can't deal with, dude. That was, it got me though, because I remember after a couple years when there was a moment. In fact, I was living out in Yuma of all places. Oh yeah, fuck. You talk about hot. I got a picture of those old bank temperature signs that they had outside the bank. I have one next to Yuma something bank, standing next to 127 degrees. Woo. I was like, eat a dick, dude. Like this is, and my shoes were melting. Like we walked through the parking lot of Walmart. My freaking Doc Martens were sticking to the ground.
That happened to me in Vegas. I know that.
Bullshit.
For our listeners that don't know, while that is extremely hot, JJ is also on the opposite end of the spectrum. I've been in his house, and it's been like high 40s or very, very low 50s. I think it was high 40s. Playing a board game. I'm sitting in front of his screen door in his kitchen. I'm like, what the F is going on? It's cold outside. JJ's out here in a sleeveless like tank top thing. Basically, he's just happy as a peach. I'm like,
shorts,
bro,
right next to the door with the screen door open.
My friend. Like, what are we doing here? JJ's freaking. I mean, he's cold-blooded to the opposite. He's warm-blooded to a T.
Yeah, I'm broken. There's no question about that. I can't do the heat.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're in Utah now. Like, it's getting too hot for you, my friend. You're gonna have to make your way up to my neck of the woods.
That's the plan.
Well, you're gonna have to, because I know it's getting hotter every year, and I know you hate your life every summer.
Dude, I don't leave my house in the summer. Like, it's just until nighttime falls, I'm not leaving. I can't. Like, I'm serious. I went outside for like 5 minutes, and I said to myself, I was like, "Fuck." I feel like I'm back in goddamn Phoenix. This is bullshit.
That's hilarious, because for work, I was actually in Utah last week for like 8 hours, and at night, and got out of, like, we driven a Penske up there. I got out of the truck and I was like, oh, it's a little cold.
Yeah, I was just saying, you're dreamy. It was dreamy for you. Well, it happens too.
It's like 80 degrees. Like, oh, it's a little chilly.
Yeah. It happens because, like, when I was in Yuma, I remember waking up really early one morning. It was like 5:30, 6 in the morning. We were going out to the sand dunes in Imperial, California. And so I woke up, and it was like 50 degrees outside. And 50 degrees, Mattson will tell you, that's my dream life, dude.
Yeah,
like 50 to 60 degrees, I'm in heaven. Okay. I woke up, and I remember walking out to the car, and I'm like, shivering. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me right now? I was like, oh, I've lived in this hellhole for 18 months. That's what's wrong with me. Like, I need to get out of this state. It's too fucking hot. So yeah,
right now, if you put JJ in a hot box, whatever state secret he's got, he's telling you he's out.
Yeah, you want to torture me, man? Stick me in a friggin', like, I watch like those, what are the prison shows? They stick them in those old hot, like, wood boxes out in the sun. I'm done. I'll tell you everything you want to know right now. Can't do it.
We gotta get you on a reality TV show, because I know you wouldn't compose yourself well.
Hell no. My poor family, I'd embarrass the fuck out of them. Like, we don't know that guy. I don't know what you're talking about. That's just some dude from Arizona.
Oh my gosh. Well, we digress, but that was funny. That was funny.
Yeah, it's
for those that haven't seen this, if you're still listening and you enjoy us, and obviously, and we hope you do, and we appreciate all of the listens. Should you actually watch this movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
No. Don't watch it. Save yourself some time. If you're going to watch it, find that friend, like my little brother or JJ or even Alec most of the time, that are going to laugh, because they will laugh. And if you don't have any friends, you probably, unless you're someone that's going to laugh like by yourself, if you're like JJ, I don't think you're really gonna enjoy this that much. Like you need a crew. This is a good watch it with a crew if you can.
It is much more fun with people.
And you don't have to take this movie very seriously. And if you missed 3 minutes because you went to get popcorn, you didn't miss anything except one of those key funny scenes. Otherwise, like you
What
missed
kind of lunatic doesn't pop the popcorn before the movie?
I don't like popcorn movie popcorn very much, so I'm not really doing that. I'm just trying to, I don't know, I'm trying to be maybe they needed more popcorn.
I was gonna say it's time for the second bowl of popcorn.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I don't
buy
know.
two bags, stick them in a big bowl.
And Alec has a knife at the bottom of his popcorn bag just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can be like Casey, and now she door dashes that shit straight from the movie theater. So,
wow,
movie theater popcorn, it's different, dude.
That's not cheap.
Dude,
She
eats the shit out of it though.
If for those people that are buying movie theater popcorn without having the rewards thing, like for $10 for a small dude, it's like they're stealing $9.70 from you.
It's fair.
Brutal.
But you get a cool bag.
Do you?
Or you get a cool popcorn holder like my R2D2 right
Some
there.
of those, but those are like they'll charge you like $20 for that just to get the holder.
Pretty sure it was more like $70 because it had his dome head there holds a drink.
Look, don't get me wrong. We need movie theaters to stay open for the right movies, but I definitely, especially now that I feel like I can't go see everything, and not every movie, like this movie, for instance, Raised in Arizona, wouldn't matter if I saw it on a big screen or not, like wasting my time. But there's movies that absolutely deserve movie time. So if I had to buy popcorn to keep it alive, I'll do it.
Fair enough. Wickenburg. That's the
I love Wickenburg.
Good old Wickenburg, dude.
Shoo! Wickenburg, let's go.
They got a car dealership out there now, JJ.
Car dealership. Yo, go buy a Ford F-150.
I don't even think they had a gas station back in 2001 when I was out there.
Yo, JG, you can pump some gas. You come here. Shoot, we can get you hooked up a hot dog. We can get you soda. We can get you some smokes. It's going to be a good time.
Wickenburg.
Yeah,
dude, that I will say this, though. Wickenburg has had, at least in the early 2000s, some wealthy motherfuckers out there in the middle of nowhere. But that's where I was driving back from. And I was like, I'm going to die. Just trying to get back to Scottsdale going, this is fucking nuts. And if you wreck or something, nope, nothing out there. I'm amazed it was paved. So out there.
They've done a lot of construction, so it's not quite nearly as far out there now, but it's still...
I mean, if JJ's AC gave out at that time, he probably would have died. He'd be like,
dude,
if he believed in God, then he'd be like, God, save me now or I'm gone.
Dude, so I'll tell you this story and then we'll rate this fucking thing. When I was out there in Scottsdale, by the way, it was when I was in North Scottsdale. So I know it was a fancy fucking place. Lived right. It was a really nice place. But our apartment, middle of the fucking summer, like it was like July, end of July, hottest part of the year. You know, Alec, when you fucking go to bed at midnight and it's 95 degrees outside because the concrete's still radiating fucking heat.
Yeah, you gotta go jump in the pool before you jump into bed.
Fucking horrible. I used to take freezing cold showers before I went to bed. It was terrible.
Water doesn't get cold here in the summer.
No shit. So it's hot. Okay, and we come home and I'm like, why is it hotter in my apartment right now than it is outside? And that's saying something because it's fucking hot. Yeah, my AC went out. You better fucking believe Fat Man got on the phone and those little motherfuckers at my apartment complex put me up in the model version of the apartment because I'm not staying here. I will not. You need to fix this shit because I will die. You'll come to my apartment and I will be a puddle on the floor.
They'll say, what was the cause of death? We're unsure, but I think he died because the AC didn't work.
There's a wet spot in the fucking carpet, and
he died of dehydration. Like, why didn't they ever drink water? We're confused too, doctor.
Horrible, dude. I was done. I was done. My roommate slept out. Like, he's like, I'm just gonna sleep out on the back porch. I'm like, it's just as fucking hot out there. I need air conditioning. So yeah, they put me up in the
JJ is
fucking...
one of JJ's better friends. Every year, his the dude that checks his furnace and AC is like, brother, good
yeah.
to see you again. Thanks for showing up today.
Dude, I have a membership with an AC company. They come out and check my shit twice a year for free, bitches, and they run all. In fact, I had
Well,
but
because
this new
they're
air
like JJ,
conditioner,
especially like this bro's running it at 64 in the winter. Like, what are we doing
68.
here?
60.
My house does not crack more than 68 unless there's some shit wrong with what's going on. So I have to keep my shit in tip top form because I will fucking break it.
Alex,
Because
sometimes when you're playing games with Jay, he'll complain because his damn computer is getting hot,
yeah,
and he's like, "It's so hot right now." I'm like, "What's
I
wrong with
said-
you?"
I set my AC in the summer to 76.
fuck off, dude.
AJ would, if he came down there, he'd be like, "Alec, I came all this way, but I am going the other way, my friend. Get in a hotel.
Not
Come visit
happening.
me."
Man, I swim in my in-laws pool at 76. Are you shitting me? 76, my ass. That's a warm summer day, dude.
That's what my AC set, dude, in the heat of the summer.
Well, because if you do
Nope.
any lower than that, you're going to be blowing money out your freaking window. It's so expensive.
That's also fair. Yeah, yours is all relative, dude. You go outside and it's fucking hell on earth, and then you come in and 76 feels quite comfortable.
It's actually a little cold.
Yeah, only to you, bitch. I would come in your house and fuck you. I'm leaving. I can't.
I don't think the thermostat goes down to 68.
Dude. Yeah, 68. My house is set at 68 at all times. And it might crack 70 because it's really hot outside. And if I see 70 and anything other than a 0 behind the 7, go down, bitch. I can't.
Well, when
Yeah.
he comes out for the football game, Alec, I'm going to be making damn sure it's around that 68. Thankfully, by the time you'd be out here, it shouldn't be a problem at all.
Yeah. Hopefully they play in a later at the end of the fall
Yes.
game.
Yes. Oh my gosh, JJ,
Can't do it, dude.
dog.
Can't do
Kill
it.
it.
And Matt's is not wrong. My fancy ass computer over here is spitting out heat right
he
now.
complains like a friggin' baby.
And it's all the way, like I redid my whole setup when I first got it because it's so fucking hot that I pushed it as far away from my desk as it can get and still be able to hook up to all my shit. But I can't, just get so hot, but I don't do it. All right, let's rate this motherfucker. It's my film. I'll go first. I'm gonna give it a 3.5. Look, it's not the best movie out there. There are some real
no shiz. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, there's some parts out there that I can skip if I'm not watching it to talk about it in the podcast, but there are some moments of real, in my opinion, just pure genius. Like, laugh my ass off every single time. Really enjoy the dialogue. Of all the things that the Coen brothers do right, their dialogue is very typically on point. So there's some moments in the movie that get pretty poignant, pretty interesting, but I cackle and giggle, and then I get bored and fast forward, and then I go back to the next part that I'm going to laugh and giggle at. So, but yeah, 3.5. It's, from my opinion, it's well worth the watch, especially if you haven't seen it. Just go in with expectations that it's a Coen film. It's going to be fucking weird. And it's a Nick Cage Coen film, so it's going to be really fucking weird. But everybody else, I think the other thing that I think about when the cast in this is outrageous. Your star, Nick Cage, is the worst fucking actor in the film. So, it's not atypical. It's pretty typical for Nick Cage films, but this one, yeah, the rest of the cast is ridiculous. So I like it, but there it is, 3.5. Alec, you go, buddy.
All right, I'm gonna be right there with JJ, 3.5. This is right up the Gentleman Bronco alley, and it's that stupid funny that is stupid, but you can't help but laugh. It did hit close to home this time. I'm not a native Zony, but I've been here long enough that I kind of fit the bill a little bit. But yeah, 3.5 for me. I will watch this again, 100%.
Yeah, me too.
All right, what's my rating? Let's take guesses from the audience here.
Look, you can only go down to 0, so 0.
I'm gonna say 1.
Oh wow, you guys think so poorly of me.
I mean,
Yeah, we do.
historical data.
Yeah.
No,
Run
it's
the
only
tape.
the only one that really hurt your feelings, Jay, was
I was
Gross
gonna say
Point Blank.
No, Uncle Buck.
I
Uncle
was gonna
Buck.
say I got 5 words: Gross Point Blank and Uncle Buck, motherfucker.
No, I'm gonna give this movie a 2. It's not good. Never watch it again. It is funny at certain parts. That doesn't mean you should watch this movie. If you have to watch this movie, watch it with friends. I don't know why you would be picking this movie when there's other funnier things you could be watching out there. I don't know where you'd find this movie except because we told you we were reviewing this movie. And if you want to watch it because we did review it, I appreciate you for doing that. And you probably will think it's maybe a little bit funnier than me. But as you know, if you listen to this podcast, I'm a man of the people and I'm saving you from these lunatics. So listen to me. Thank you.
Oh,
Man
shit.
of the people.
I'll tell you how I'm a man of the people. Not only do I keep my air conditioner at 68 degrees, but I got a secondary air conditioner right behind me running at all times. So, yeah, there it is. There it is, Raising Arizona. What a way to kick off the month of Nicolas Cage. Thankfully, some better movies coming, but there's also some terribly but worse movies coming as well. But it's the nature of Nick Cage.
It gets worse before it gets better, my friends. I don't know when we're doing the real bad one, but whoa, wow.
Dude, I didn't even pick it. This was mild compared to what my first thoughts to pick were. I was gonna really torture your ass, but
Oh man, jeez. Did you pick the other one? You did, didn't you?
Are you talking? No, I didn't.
Who
That one was
picked
not
that
me.
one?
That was Alec.
Lee, fudging Alec.
Bro,
Yes, sir.
that's the best one of the bunch.
Oh my gosh. I don't want to say what it is. Listeners, tune in because I might blow a gasket on that one. It's been a while.
I love you, Wickenberg, but that's not an accurate statement. Oh God. Oh shit. What's the other one that you picked? That because I know Mattson, you put Ghost Rider on the list, right?
Yeah. I think I picked. Didn't I pick Con Air?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, dick.
And then, yeah, mine were relatively. I was nice to you other than this one. No, that's not true. I did pick Matchstick Man. You would have hated that too. That's a great movie, though. Anyway.
See, what's the problem with this podcast is when you have a 2-for-1 gang and when your co-hosts are picking things that they know you're going to hate, I don't do that to my co-hosts. I'm kind.
I mean, you did put Con Air on this list, so I don't know how much I can agree with that.
Con Air is better than this stupid movie.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. Oh, we'll talk about that. That's coming up soon. Alec,
Yeah.
as we get the fuck on out of here on our crazy motorcycles with our shotgun strapped to our back, Deadpool style. Why don't you tell everybody where they can find us?
Happy to. So thank you for tuning into our review of Raising Arizona. As JJ said, this is week 1 of our full month of just beautiful, beautiful Nick Cage movies. Did our verdict match with yours? Let us know in the comments, and a special shout out to our current patrons, Raging Dumpster Fire, Richard, and Mel Brooks, for the selection and your continued support of the podcast. Patreon is a place to get involved with What's Our Verdict content, and as patrons, you receive access to all the behind-the-scenes shenanigans. That includes Communist Mattson, Conspiracy Theorist Alec, and Godless Heathen JJ. So, I mean, that's where all the fun is. In addition, you also receive access to extra content. I think we just passed, 250 videos on the Patreon? So
did we
a
really?
lot of
Jeez.
stuff out there.
What are we showing people?
And the ability to select quarterly movies that are just Patreon exclusive.
Oh my gosh.
So check us out there at What's Our Verdict Reviews. And with that, I will kick it back to the Maharaja of MASH, the King of Crash, a JJ.
Hey, I'm just saying it right now, listeners. Sign up for Patreon. We'll put a special tier. You pay us a lot of money. We'll put JJ in a very hot room and see how it goes. I'm here.
It won't go. I'm telling you.
We're going to have ER support standing by probably.
Seriously, dude.
In a large one.
Very, very hot room, JJ. 73 degrees.
Fuck. It's too hot. It's too hot.
No,
Why
it
would
would
my
be funny
house be that
if we
hot?
started them at 68 and every 30 minutes we bumped. I probably do every 15. It's gonna
Oh,
go
I
fast. We
like
bumped it
it.
up by 1 degree. You
Live
just see the
stream.
grumpiness on JJ
Oh,
pop up.
yeah.
He'd go from jolly Saint Nick to Christmas Grinch in like a matter of 6 degrees.
You get to 72-ish, and there'd be a bead of sweat start, and then I'd be pissed.
Because no one sweats in 72 inside their house unless you're JJ. Like, I don't know what you are at times. Are you human?
I'm
Yeti.
fat. That's what I am.
I really want to do this now. So
I
please,
don't.
listeners, listen to this, because if we get enough, I'm looking at you, Charles and Rich and Joe. I know you listen to this. Let's torture JJ. Let's do it for humanity. Let's do it for a lot. We're gonna need laughs this coming fall because it's about to be terrible.
If this somehow happens, I will get you back.
I don't know what you'll do, but I'm here for it.
I'll
I'll
find
fly
a
to
way.
Utah to help make this happen, and I know Casey would be invested because she thinks it's funny as shit.
I will find a way. Okay, well, let's get the fuck out of here.
And JJ's villain origin story was born.
And I was gonna
Yeah.
say, and there's a slight fear in JJ's voice that somehow this does happen one day.
Yeah, this will happen. And the next thing you know, I'm be rolling down the fucking street in a motorcycle and shotgun strapped to my back, throwing grenades at fucking bunny rabbits.
Yeah, except that's what I go live in like Florida, and JJ's like, no, can't. I just can't even turn down there. It's too human. He's like,
Nope.
I don't care. I'm not finding him.
No, dude, we will become online only friends because it ain't fun. It's why Alec and I've only met twice in person. He's come here.
I have the advantage because I know you'd come see me because I live at a place of a climate. You're like, well, this is acceptable for my conditions.
Yeah, I can manage I can manage the.
Alec,
the
what we're saying is you're
Northwest
safe. He won't be coming for you.
Nope.
This is the perfect place to live.
Yeah,
Never get any visitors. It's wonderful.
I ain't going. I ain't doing it. All right. Well, there it is. More fun to come. With that, as always, we appreciate you tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.
What?
Hasta la vista, baby.
Cinemagic out.